Hello and welcome back to Stomp City and another episode of ECW Lives on TEW 2016, and today it is time for the Fight Series semi-finals where we're going to see who progresses into the final of the Fight Series to potentially challenge Bill Goldberg for the ECW Championship. And of course, if Bill Goldberg wins the tournament, he won't yet have a number one contender, so a bit more of an easy ride for him, so he will want to win this. And of course, he'll want to prove that he is the most dominant in the company as well. But Minoru Tanaka, Ken Shamrock and Prince Devitt will have something to say about that. So if you're excited for this episode, make sure you drop a like down below. And also make sure you subscribed, because I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. So if you can do that for me, I'll appreciate it. And you'll notice that this one is being premiered. So if you're watching the premiere, say hello in the chat. I should be in there. And if you're not, but you do want to watch the next episode on the premiere, make sure you turn notifications on and you should get notified when the premiere goes live. I'm going to probably do premieres on all of the remaining episodes of the series, and I'm going to try and get them out every 2 days so we can get it done before TEW 2020, and that's the plan anyway. So yeah, but with that out of the way, let's get straight into today's episode of ECW Revolt as things start shaping up towards the end of ECW Lives. And we start with a dark match this time with a 10-person tag. We've got the team of Nakamura Marufuji, Heavy Metal, Great Sasuke, Manami Toyota and Dragon Kid taking on Kenta, Low-Ki, Taka Michinoku, Shane Helms and Yoshinari Agawa. And this is at the minute the best we have in the junior heavyweight division, and you'll notice that there's a couple of names in there that weren't there before in the division. We've got Nakamura Marufuji and Heavy Metal, but other than that they were all in the junior heavyweight division, but we've added a couple of names in the mix heading into the Prince of the Super Junior tournament, which will take place pretty soon. So yes, just adding some depth to the division and some more star power. And I just did this match just to see who the standouts are. From what I can see, Heavy Metal got the best performance. Kenta is up there with a 66 and Dragon Kid with a 64. We've also got Toyota with a 60. Other than that, mid-50s it looks like. Low-Ki with the lowest on a 53. But picking up the win here was Marufuji defeating Low-Ki to get the win for his team, and it's a decent rating as well with 66C+. Yoshinari Agawa is improving in performance skills and Heavy Metal is improving in Rumble. And we head into another dark match, which is going to be Samoa Joe taking on Garuda, and in this one Samoa Joe defeats him in 3 minutes 23 by submission with a Dragon Sleeper. And yeah, 2 matches to get the show going and to get the crowd going as well. An 86 there from Joe, so really good from him, and the performance of Samoa Joe stood out as being good, it says there as well. And 56C- for this one, just because it was a squash, the rating has been affected. But that's fine, it's just a dark match, and Samoa Joe is improving in performance skills as well. And as we head into the show, we just go for a quick recap of how we got here. And just to let you know, the semi-finals are a little bit different to what was shown in the last episode because of slightly changed plans. But it's going to be Tanaka taking on Shamrock, and that will be tonight's main event. And also, we're going to see Goldberg take on Prince Devitt. Of course, Tanaka winning all but one of his matches in the group. Of course, the favourite for the tournament has to be Goldberg, as he has currently won every single match in the tournament. Minoru Tanaka and Ken Shamrock winning all but one, and Prince Devitt scraping through pretty much thanks to Brian Kendrick and Raven's antics, where Raven hit Kendrick, causing CM Punk to get disqualified in an elaborate plan to make sure CM Punk doesn't progress. Perhaps CM Punk should be on 8, and it looked like that was going to happen until, of course, Raven and Kendrick's plan came into place. But regardless, this is a bit of a boost for Prince Devitt, and tonight he will take on the ECW World Heavyweight Champion. And we're going to open the show, though, with a match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Lopaka, and in 1 minute 02. So I think that is the fastest victory of the series so far in all seasons. Shinsuke Nakamura has picked up a massive win to make a name for himself in his first appearance on Revolt, and he got a 62, so solid performance, and Lopaka with a 54. and 55 C- overall. Of course, it was a squash match, so it's not going to bring in massive ratings. But Lopaka is improving in performance skills, but that doesn't really matter because for now, this is going to be Lopaka's last appearance on Revolt. And I can't see any reason to bring him back, but his contract will be expiring after this appearance. So we may as well job him out to Shinsuke Nakamura and give him a huge, fast victory on his Revolt debut, and hopefully more things to come for Shinsuke heading into the future, but this is a great start. And we go to a video hyping a match for later tonight, and it's going to be CM Punk looking to seek revenge on Raven and Brian Kendrick for costing him a place in the Fight Series semi-finals. Of course, I explained that before. So tonight it will be CM Punk teaming with Bryan Danielson to take on Kendrick and Raven, and if Bryan and Punk can get the win, Punk will take on Raven at November to remember for the TV title. So of course that pay-per-view will be next month, and yeah, an opportunity for Punk to get a title shot against his rival at the minute. And yeah, 56 C-, and so far the ratings haven't been brilliant, but hopefully it can pick up a bit later on in the show as we head into the next match, and that's much better. We've got the Junior Heavyweight Champion, or the undisputed Junior Heavyweight Champion AJ Styles taking on Black Warrior, and in 12 minutes 55 by pinfall with a Styles Clash, the champion gets the victory. And apparently they have pretty good chemistry and it lifted the match. AJ Styles had an in-ring performance of 83. It's a really good match from AJ, and Black Warrior with a 54. And AJ Styles pushing on that main event level performance tonight as the champion, and it's good to see. Maybe slightly outgrowing the junior heavyweight division, but for now he's going to stay as champion. And 77B overall for that match. So solid stuff as we go on. And we're just going to quickly show the graphic again, and next up it's going to be Goldberg taking on Prince Devitt in that Fight Series semi-final. So let's see how that goes. And in 6 minutes 31 by stoppage, we see Goldberg pick up the victory in another win, his 5th win of the Fight Series. And interestingly, he's got an 84 there, and AJ had an 83. So it just shows you how much AJ Styles is improving in his current role. Apparently Goldberg was off his game though. Heyman did do some good work at ringside, and Devitt getting a 52, so perhaps not on the main event level, or perhaps where I'd like him to be considering his push recently, but that's fine. Goldberg is improving in performance skills, and as you can see on the screen, Goldberg has advanced through to the final, which will be of course on next week's Revolt. And we go into the tag team match that we hyped earlier, where Punk can earn his TV title match, and in 17 minutes 50, CM Punk has pinned the TV champion Raven after a go to sleep, and earns himself the TV title opportunity. And yeah, that will be happening at the pay-per-view coming up. So yeah, that should be a really good match, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that one does. Again, the chemistry between Raven and Brian Kendrick was not there tonight. Hopefully that can improve. I don't know if it will, but it's fine. It hasn't really affected the rating. We've got an 80B there. Danielson with a 68, 75 for Punk, 67 for Kendrick, and 73 for Raven. Of course, the Kendrick and Raven rating would be affected by the lack of chemistry. Raven is improving in performance skills, and CM Punk is now the #1 contender for Raven's TV title. And next up we go into the main event, which as you can see on the screen, Minoru Tanaka will take on Ken Shamrock, as we've covered. And in that main event, the winner of the match via submission with 1 minute 7 seconds remaining of the time limit, Minoru Tanaka has defeated Ken Shamrock by submission with a Minoru special, and a great performance again by Tanaka with an 85, Shamrock with a 64. So I think the right decision was made tonight, and they've managed to get a 79. So not quite as good as that tag match that we just saw before, but as you can see on the screen, Tanaka advances to the final to take on Goldberg, which will be next week, as I've said already. And yeah, some good performances tonight. The standouts, Tanaka, AJ, Joe, and Goldberg, of course, maybe our 4 best guys at the minute in terms of in-ring performance. And after the match, Tanaka gets to his feet as he celebrates his victory, and he's 1 step closer to another ECW title shot. And as the cage rises, Goldberg and Samoa Joe walk out with Paul Heyman in tow, and Ken Shamrock gets to his feet and stands side by side with Tanaka, even in the odds. And Heyman starts to talk down the microphone and he says, "Hey, Ken, I have a little offer for you. Do you want to reach the top of ECW, or do you want to be just another name on the roster? We can help you. We are the Dangerous Alliance and we carry the gold around here. And if you want some gold too, then do the right thing." And Joe and Goldberg rush to the ring and attack Minoru Tanaka, laying him out on the floor, and Goldberg and Joe step back as Heyman says, "So what will it be?" So a big offer coming in from the Dangerous Alliance, and they want to align with Ken Shamrock, and there's not many badder men in ECW to join the group than Ken. So let's see what Ken Shamrock decides to do. And Shamrock grabs Tanaka's ankle and locks in the ankle lock as Minoru screams in agony, and the show goes off air as the newest Dangerous Alliance member shakes hands with his new allies, and they stand with their arms raised in the middle of the ring as the show comes to a close. So the Dangerous Alliance once again has a new member, a third member, after recently Danny Havoc joining the group and then leaving it. Wasn't quite good enough, so Ken Shamrock has now took his place in the group and is now that third man, and it is a huge addition to the stable. And what a stable that is now. Ken Shamrock, Bill Goldberg and Samoa Joe, three of the most legit wrestlers in the world at this point. And yeah, Heyman has now built perhaps one of the strongest stables in wrestling history as well. And the performance of Minoru Tanaka was good, and Goldberg came across well apparently, and a great rating there, an 89A. So what a way to end the episode. And Tanaka is apparently improving in performance skills, so that's good to see. And let's see how we did overall. And we end with an 80B, increasing our popularity in 18 regions. And I think that was a decent show. We've got the quick win from Nakamura. We've got the Fight Series final taking place next week with Goldberg and Tanaka, so that should be interesting. But Tanaka is going in after a 3-on-1 beatdown, so it's going to be tough for him to be able to beat Goldberg in the best of condition, never mind after a beatdown. And we've got the TV title #1 contender name through Punk, and of course the newest member of the Dangerous Alliance, Ken Shamrock, aligning with Goldberg, Joe and Heyman. So yeah, I think it went well. So yeah, interesting stuff going on. And let's continue forward on in the game. And as you can see, Lopaka has gone from ECW now after his contract expired. And in terms of TV rating, we got an 8.86. So I will see how that fares compared to recent weeks. I haven't checked the TV ratings in a while, in a few weeks actually. So let's do that now. And I think the last time I checked it was before the Fight Series. So I'm assuming it was this one, maybe the week before. No, this is still Fight Series. So I think it was this one. So this was in Japan, and we got an 8, so 3.6 million. Then the next one was 8.31, so a bump of 0.31 in front of 6.74. Then we go to just under 4 million there, 8.87. I think actually we've seen this one. I'll still go over it anyway. A slight dip there, going back down to 8.55. Then we go a little bit up to 8.58, but not quite to the 8.87 that we had there. 8.73, 8.92. Well, last week we finally, I think, was for the first time, got over 4 million viewers. And this week we're just under 4 million at 8.86. And yeah, now plenty eyes on the product as we head forward into the final stages of this series. And hopefully we can get to national before the end of the series. We need to get to 65 importance in 8 regions. We're there in 2 and nearly there in 3. And we've got some contracts to sort out. We've offered contracts to Bull Nakano, Aisha Kong and Kaoru Ito to add to the women's division that we're going to look to start building upon over the next few months, heading into Global Glory. Of course, they came from the All Japan Women's takeover when we bought that company. And we, of course, have their belt still as well. And the champion currently, Kyoko Inoi. Potentially going to change that to ECW Women's or GPWC Women's. I haven't quite decided what we're going to do with it just yet. But for now, we're just going to leave it as it is. And yeah, defended it occasionally on 0-1 until we're ready to introduce it to the ECW audience. And something else I wanted to do was sort out the junior heavyweight division just a little bit, because I've moved some names into it. So we've got Bryan Danielson in there now, Brian Kendrick, Heavy Metal, and Naomichi Marufuji. I think I added Taka Michinoku as well. So if we look at the roster overview, the junior division is now stacked. We've got 5 people that are upper mid card or higher, that being Heavy Metal, Shane Helms, Bryan Danielson, Taka Michinoku, and AJ Styles. And with AJ perhaps outgrowing the division, we might look at putting the belt on someone else. I'm not completely sure though, because I'm kind of tempted to make him the only ever undisputed junior heavyweight champion. I'm not sure though. The junior division isn't quite set in stone, but I've got a couple of ideas of what we're going to do. Of course, we're going to be doing the Prince of the Super Juniors tournament soon, and that will be after November to Remember. So we've got some big names in there in the mix. But one thing I want to do is move Garuda back down to developmental. I can't see him ever really doing anything now. He will be sent down to CZW after his loss to Samoa Joe on that pre-show. Yoshinari Ogawa as well, someone I'm interested in, but for now he's just going to be going down to CZW just to work down there, as it says there. And we're going to do that. And also Milano Collection AT will be going down there just to work for a bit as well. And that just cleans up the roster just a little bit. And actually, I'm just going to see if Auto Push makes anyone else the main eventer in the division. And it doesn't. It in fact moves AJ down to upper mid card, but that's fine. And while we're on that subject, why not look at the overall roster? So for upper mid card and above, we've got Bryan Danielson. So I think that's a move up for him. We've got AJ Styles, Lance Storm, Heavy Metal, Sabu, Taka Michinoku, Prince Devitt, Nakayama, and Shane Helms. For main eventers, we've got Goldberg, Sting, Samoa Joe, Raven, Rhino, Ken Shamrock, CM Punk, Minoru Tanaka, and Vampiro. So the roster, at least in the main event scene now, is stacked. So that's good to see. Also, in terms of signings, I can't see any happening unless someone really good becomes available from WWF. Like a Jericho or a Jeff Hardy, even a Brock Lesnar, someone like that. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to sign anyone. But anyway, a little bit of a detour there at the end. But we're going to end the episode here now. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you drop a like on the video. It helps me out a lot. And make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss another episode of ECW Lives. And why not check out one of the videos that you can see on the screen right now. But until next time, peace.